The railroad is great. You hear that whistle, it just takes you right back to 1882.
Silverton's story is an old one,
Notorious Wild West town.
full of history, written over time.
The difference between history and news is not much, it's just a matter of what time it is.
As writer, editor, publisher
And, let me see, janitor.
of the Silverton Standard,
Let me see.
Mark Esper is tasked with writing his community's story.
It's a great story to tell.
Some are pressing, others are...
We had a motorcycle accident on Coalbank Pass, and the motorcycle somehow managed to crash twice.
Each word Mark types
Go figure.
is written in a place surrounded by history.
The newspaper is now housed in the operating room of the town's hospital, which closed in 1958. All the old-timers will come in here and say, you know, I was born in this room.
Silverton has had many different chapters.
I'm not sure if that story has merit or not.
But the one everyone wants to believe is the time a mysterious stranger wandered into town a decade back.
At first, they only saw him usually at some distance.
He doesn't let people get around him.
He's elusive, very much so.
He's shy. If you walk by him, he just moves.
He hangs out between a couple different houses.
He protects the cats in the neighborhood, he runs off coyotes, and he runs off bears.
This is the stranger that sat and stayed.
Woofy showed up above town here, just kind of howling.
As the story goes, Wolfie and his brothers were dumped in the mountains as puppies.
One of them was later found dead, one of them apparently was shot, but then Woofy.
Wolfie lives up to his name, but no one's sure just how much.
They figured about 98% Wolf.
We figure he's probably 50%.
Nobody can get close enough to get anything for DNA.
At first, there was concern.
Someone spotted it with something in its mouth, and they thought, oh my gosh, Woofy's killed a cat. But it turned out it was just a stuffed animal.
But then there was acceptance.
Did some damage to a lawn, and volunteers got out there and fixed the lawn for him.
Even the sheriff says animal control rules don't apply here.
Free of the rules, I guess you could say.
Though many in town love him,
And we have people that give him liver.
few can get near him.
You're okay.
But with Melody Skinner,
He likes to be in the water and we admire him.
there's a special connection.
Look at you. Good boy. That's it. Yeah. Oh yeah, good girl, good kisses.
The two have bonded over their hikes.
You're a good boy.
Wolfie walked into Melody's life at a trying time.
Throughout my years of having had cancer, he's been a very huge part of helping me be well, encouraging me to walk every day.
But now, as his health declines,
Come on, good boy.
Melody is the one encouraging him to move around.
It just means that we're both hanging on as best we can and living as best we can.
Yet, even in his older years, he's still keeping an eye on things.
He likes this corner because there's action. He can see what's going on in town.
Woofy is actually an unofficial deputy, if you talk to our sheriff.
If you'd let me hang a badge on him, I probably would.
Although he's not as old as the mines that once dotted the mountains outside of town, Wolfie will certainly leave his print on Silverton's story.
Or we're part of his story, I'm not sure.